attack, you will hit 2 kick buttons simultaneously, affecting the faster turbo spinning clothesline. This move makes you invulnerable from the belt down and dangerous to opponents foolish enough to attack you. Once they do, you're able to grab them and put them into your spinning pile driver. An essential Zangief skill is his ability to control the direction of his pile driver so that he can keep his opponent in the corner. Move the joystick in a 360-degree rotation either clockwise or counterclockwise. Zangief's pile driver will jump right or left on the screen, according to the direction of your rotation.
Because of my slowness and low attack power of my punches and kicks, my greatest weapon is unseen, for it lies within. It is called patience, and is the key to my transcendence. My reach advantage keeps my worldly opponents at bay until sheer frustration often tempts them to make an unfortunate mistake. Ah, most enlightening.
When a large opponent jumps at you from a close distance, wait until the last second to slide by, pressing the low short kick button and 2 low forwards. Dalsim can drill opponents repeatedly. Try drilling 2 or 3 times before simply walking up as bold as brass to a dazed or blocking opponent and throwing him. You can use a quick, low, short kick to slide to your opponent and throw him because he's expecting you to slide long.
Okay, I'm big, but don't let my size fool you. I'm fast on my feet, just not so hard in the air. My turn punch and dash punch will knock your block off if you don't see him coming. That's why I use all these fakes and attacks. Strategy is the key to my success. A few rounds with me, and most of them leave saying, I could have been a contender.
Jump at your opponent with a late fierce while holding back on the joystick to charge up. As soon as you land, press the low jab punch button, then a high jab. Now dash by moving your joystick towards your opponent and press the short button. It's good for 4 continuous hits. Press and hold all 3 punch buttons or all 3 kick buttons for 2 seconds and then release. The turn punch is indestructible for a split second, letting you punch your way through projectiles if you wait until the last possible instant to release. You can keep your turn punch in reserve, ready to go by holding down either all 3 kick buttons or all 3 punch buttons and playing with the remaining free buttons. The same principle holds true for an even more powerful punch. Hold down the kick or punch buttons for 50 seconds, then release to do a final power punch. Jump, and while you're jumping, hold back on your joystick for as long as possible. Hit with a late fierce punch, then immediately do a dash by hitting the short kick button. This combo is good for 2 continuous hits. Here's the replay and the timing of the move in real time. This cheap strategy throw move takes advantage of Balrog's quickness and an opponent's tendency to block. When an opponent blocks, jump at him from a relatively close distance and hit him with the fierce punch button. Then hit with a low jab, following up Balrog's dash by immediately hitting the short kick button and simultaneously tapping the strong or fierce punch buttons. You should be able to distract your opponent with a jab that never lands while you set him up for a headbutt. Notice the rhythm of the sequence in real time.
I am a quick fighter, and my claw gives me an extra reach that many of my opponents lack. But my hidden strength lies in patience and staying out of my opponent's reach. When an adversary becomes impatient and has the insolence to attack, I counter at just the right moment with just the right move. Like my air throw. I use my off-the-wall throw sparingly, as it can leave me vulnerable. My combinations are designed for multiple continuous hits and will cause considerable damage to my enemies.
This works best on large characters. Get your opponent dizzy. While still holding back on the joystick to charge, press the jab button. Then press the joystick forward while punching the strong punch button, creating the roll. As soon as you finish the roll, press strong again to punch your opponent. When in range, jump at your opponent with a late fierce by hitting your fierce punch button at the last possible moment before contact. Immediately follow with a high or low strong and low strong punch. Lure your opponent into attacking by moving in and out of attack range. When attacked, step closer and stab. Or you may slide with the lower roundhouse. Should an opponent jump at Vega, jump at him instead, pressing the fierce or strong button, and at this point, throw him in midair.
I use these combos all the time, and I know they work, so keep on practicing.
What I lack in style, I make up for in power and tenacity. I am slow on the ground and air, but have an advantage with my longer reach. Unlike my opponents, I can throw both high and low fireballs very quickly. My tiger uppercuts and tiger knees are also very fast. But I must remember that my tiger uppercut is only indestructible for a split second. When you fight me, you are a rock fighting a relentless stream of water. Eventually, I will wear you down. When you're fairly close to your opponent, jump with the roundhouse kick button, then follow that with a low short kick and a tiger uppercut. The replay will show you just how fast the tiger uppercut follows the kick.
Yoga fire! Tiger uppercut! Tiger uppercut!
Jump at your opponent, waiting for the last possible instant before contact to hit the roundhouse kick button. Then, almost simultaneously, hit a low short kick and a short tiger knee move. When you're as close as you dare to come to your opponent, your high forward kick will hit twice. Then in one continuous move, hit the low short kick button and decimate your foe with a tiger uppercut. From a short distance, your tiger knee will let you hop over any projectiles and low attacks and allow you to get close enough to your enemy to blast him with a tiger uppercut.
Relic, boom! Tiger uppercut! Relic, boom! Tiger uppercut!
When playing against Balrog, keep him far away, using your low, slow tiger shot fireball. If he tries to turn punch through your projectile, then use your tiger uppercut. If he jumps over the fireballs toward you, use a low roundhouse kick or high fierce punch. The main idea is to mix up the combinations and keep him off balance.
Tiger uppercut!
My powers may have been diminished, but I am by no means powerless. Believe me, fighting with me can be murder. I can act as quickly as a fatal dose of venom, and my Psycho Crusher still incinerates my enemies. My scissor kick allows me to sail over low attacks and kick my opponents into submission. And my head stomp will allow me to dive towards the heads of my victims again for a second